Tas Kebob is an Iranian dish using yogurt, meat, herbs, and saffron. Okay, so what I've done is I've used the leg and the breast pieces and the neck, etc., and the extra pieces that you get. I'm making a stock out of that using some onions, garlic, ginger, 1 bay leaf, 1 green cardamom, and 1 cinnamon, 3 peppercorns, 2 cloves, and that's about it. Since everyone in my family prefers the white meat, I've added an extra breast piece and a tablespoon and a half of ginger garlic goes into this. There you go, ginger garlic, 1.5 teaspoon of salt, some black pepper, crushed chili according to your spice level, a little more than half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and a little more than half a teaspoon of dill. This is dried, use fresh if you have any. Mix this up. Okay, this is a pot. I've added some oil. I'm just going to add a little bit of saffron to this right now and some later. Flavoring the oil with just 1 bay leaf, 1 dark cinnamon stick, 2 green cardamoms, and 4 cloves. I'm going to take the chicken piece and I'm going to make sure there's not much yogurt in it, and I'm going to place it right here one by one so it sears a little bit. Flavoring the oil is an age-old trick. Many people have done it over the years. That's what sets the tone for the dish, and this is what is different to my old Tas Kebob recipe, along with 1 or 2 more things that I shall add. There are many versions to every recipe, and this one will turn out great, I'm sure of that. The purpose of doing this is to sear and brown the chicken, and so that it brunoes really, really well. It's not pink inside, so I'm not flipping it as yet. I'm going to do one side at a time. Just turn the fire up. Make sure you skim off this dirt. Throw it away. Okay, so what I've done is I've turned the side. It's a little brown, you can see, but it's got a ways to go. I'm going to take the yogurt, and here I have 4 large potatoes, 3 onions, and I'm going to use more than 2. I think I'm going to use a little more. I'm going to marinate the potatoes in the yogurt. I've sliced the potatoes, they're not very thick, and I mixed it into the yogurt. And let me show you what the chicken looks like right now. It's nearly done. The water is going to dry. I'm going to take a fistful of crushed onions and add that in. These are fried onions and I've crushed them. This is what a fistful is. Approximately a small bowl like that. It depends on the size of your fist. But jokes aside, not too much onion. Just mix that in, brown it a wee bit, and I'm going to add the potatoes with all the yogurt into it. You'll start noticing the oil is rising. I don't want to cook the chicken too much because it's going to break into pieces. I'm adding everything in this now. Smelling so good. Mixing it around because I can do that right now. The chicken isn't soft enough to break. Mix it around and just bruno it a little bit. Then I'm going to add a wee bit of this chicken stock. I'm also going to get rid of some more of this foamy stuff floating at the top. Okay, all done. It's practically dry. I'm going to lower the fire. And I'm actually just waiting for this water to dry. Stock to kind of reduce a little bit. Isn't this a great idea to use the neck and the bones of chicken to make a stock like this to add to a dish instead of water, or instead of adding a chicken stock cube, which quite honestly I do because that is a shortcut, and yeah, this is far safer. This is a very brothy chicken dish. Now the healing properties are in turmeric and also in cinnamon, cardamom. I think this is a great dish for people who want to eat light food, and it's a pretty tasty food at the end of it. I'm adding all the stock in. So I've taken onions, and these are thick slices. I'm going to place them on top. These are rings, just 3. And right on top, real thick slices of tomatoes. Now what I'm going to do is once I place it, I'm going to put some saffron, some garam masala powder, and I'm going to cover this and cook this in its steam. Don't move it around. You cannot move it around, otherwise the tomatoes are going to disintegrate and this is going to become like the desi curry, which is not what I'm looking for. Garam masala powder just for the taste. You don't have to use it. I would like to use that. I forgot to add that I'm also using dried dill. If you have fresh soya leaves, which is most probably available in the winter in Lahore, use that now. And now for just sprinkling a little bit of saffron on the top, because the tomatoes and onions didn't have the yogurt dressing. I'm going to cover and cook this on low heat. Not too long because the chicken is kind of ready. Just going to wait for the potatoes to get done. This is kind of done, but I just feel like the potatoes these days are taking a little longer to cook than usual. So depending on whichever country you are in, make sure you use the right potatoes, and I think I should have sliced them thinner, but it's more or less done. Okay, I feel like this is done. And what I'm going to do is add a blob of butter. Iranian food has a lot of saffron and butter and herbs, and right at the end, after I turn the fire off, a little bit of lemon juice. And this beautiful Iranian dish is done. I'm going to serve that with plain naan. You can choose Kandahari naan or whatever naan you like. This is fried crushed onions, no dhania, no hari mirchi, because this is how it's going to be served. I hope you guys like this new version of Tas Kebob. Please make this. By the way, you can make this with mutton, because that is the original Tas Kebob recipe. This is what it should look like, the consistency of the brothy curry, and this should be like that. Isn't it pretty? It smells great. This is amazing with naan. I wouldn't suggest you have this with rice. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I really enjoyed this, and I'm going to enjoy my lunch now.